Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Champions League predictions. It's the round of 16, it's finally back. It's been a long time since November. I cannot wait for this competition to restart. But yeah, as we do, we just go through the games, we pick out some few talking points, and then I'll give my overall score prediction. Because it's not a group stage, I'm just going to give my score prediction for the tie as a whole, not the first and second leg. So yeah, we'll start with AC Milan versus Tottenham. AC Milan, they haven't been doing great. Obviously, they're struggling at the moment to tie down Rafa Leao to a new contract. Spurs, they have Bentancur out now. He suffered an ACL injury against Leicester. Lloris is also out, so Forster will be in goal for this game. It's a big one. Milan have got something to prove because they're struggling a bit in Serie A. If they want to get Champions League, I think Serie A is a priority for them, but this could also be a great way for them to make sure they qualify for next year's competition. Spurs, on the other hand, I'm not sure what Conte is going to go with. We know that it's going to be Forster in goal. Bentancur is out, so it'll probably be Højbjerg, maybe a Bissouma or a Sarr in the midfield. I'm not sure, but the first leg is being played at the San Siro, second leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. On aggregate, I'm going to go for a 3-2 Milan win. We move on to the second tie and possibly the biggest tie of the entire round of 16. It's PSG against Bayern. First leg in the Parc des Princes. First leg in the Parc des Princes, second leg at the Allianz Arena. Now, Mbappe is fit, Messi is fit, Neymar is fit. Bayern, they're struggling without a striker this year. They are top currently in the Bundesliga, but it's not been as clear-cut as it has been. Union Berlin have been there. Dortmund are coming back into it. So I'm actually going to go with a walk in the park for PSG. I think Messi, Mbappe and Neymar will just be way too strong for Bayern. On aggregate, 5-3. I don't think the second leg in the Allianz is going to hamper PSG at all. So yeah, 5-3 PSG in that one. We then move on to Wednesday night. We have Dortmund versus Chelsea. Now, Dortmund are on a massive resurgence at the moment. Bellingham's playing class. Moukoko. Haller has come back from, obviously, he had cancer in his treatment. He's come back and he's hit the ground running. Rainer's popping off at the moment. They're playing incredibly well. Chelsea is struggling. Although they've only conceded 1 goal in the past 7 matches, they're not really scoring goals either. So this could be a tough one. And as the first leg is at the Signal Iduna Park, that is going to be an arena for them to go to and have to try and get a result. I can't see Chelsea doing it. I'm actually going to go with a Dortmund win in this tie. I could be wrong though, as the second leg is at Stamford Bridge. We'll see what happens, but Chelsea need to turn around their form before anything like that happens. So I'm going to go with a 4-2 Dortmund win on aggregate. I reckon they'll score 3 at Signal Iduna Park, 3-1, and then it'll probably be a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge. I'm not sure. But yeah, 4-2 Dortmund win in that tie. We move on. We've got Club Brugge against Benfica in the next tie in the round of 16. Club Brugge had a great run in the group stages. So did Benfica. They both played absolutely amazingly. Club Brugge, you think they've got players like Noah Lang. Benfica, they obviously lost Enzo Fernandez, but they still got players like Rafa in the midfield who dominate when they play. So it's going to be a really interesting tie. And I'm not really sure, but I am going to go with Benfica here. I just feel like they will be too strong for Club Brugge, who have played really well. As I said, they did really well in the group stages, but I feel like Benfica might just be too much for them. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Benfica win on aggregate. The first leg is in Bruges, second leg back in Benfica. But yeah, Benfica, they're going to win this tie 3-1. We move on now to Frankfurt versus Napoli. Frankfurt, obviously, they're the Europa League winners from last year, not doing too well in the Bundesliga this year. Napoli are on a roll in Serie A, 16 points clear, wiping the floor with every single team they play against. Osimhen has equalled Higuain's record of scoring in 16 games in a row. It's unbelievable. They're my favourites, actually, I think, at the moment to win this tournament. And no different here. They're going to wipe Frankfurt aside. I'm going with a 5-1 aggregate win. The first leg is in Frankfurt. Second leg is back at the Estadio Diego Maradona. So yeah, 5-1 Napoli win. I don't reckon they'll win the first leg comfortably. Second leg, I think, will be an absolute swipe for them. So yeah, 5-1, Napoli are going through to the quarterfinal. The next tie is Liverpool against Real Madrid, the final from last year, the final from 2018. They played each other a lot recently in this competition. And it's going to be a really interesting game to see. Real Madrid are obviously the Club World Cup champions. They won it recently in Morocco. Liverpool, they're really struggling at the moment in the Premier League. They're conceding way too many goals that we're usually accustomed to Liverpool. They're also not scoring that many. Cody Gakpo has struggled to hit the ground running. Salah's out of the goals. Nunes is struggling. Diaz is obviously injured. So it's going to be a tough one for Liverpool. It really is. First leg is at Anfield. The second leg is at the Bernabeu. Just because it's Real Madrid, just because they're the champions of Europe, and just because of how badly Liverpool are playing this season, I'm confident Real Madrid are going to win this. But I think it will be a close one. I'm going to go with 3-2 on aggregate. I can see Liverpool winning at Anfield, maybe 2-1, and then Real Madrid do the same at the Bernabeu, winning 2-1. But Real Madrid are going to go through in that one. Right, the final two ties now of the round of 16. We have Inter Milan versus Porto coming up first. Inter, they're doing okay in Serie A. I say okay because of Napoli and how well they're doing. Porto, they're not doing too badly in Portugal themselves. They've got some decent players like Corona running around who are on a madness at the moment. Inter, they've obviously got some decent players as well. Lautaro Martinez, Lukaku's playing well. They're on a roll in Serie A themselves. They sit second at the moment. First leg's at the San Siro. Second leg is at the Drago. No, not the Drago. Back at Porto Stadium, where the final was held a couple of years ago between Chelsea and Man City. Inter, I feel, will be too strong for Porto. They both had a decent group stage, but again, I think Inter will be too strong for Porto, so I'm actually going to go with an Inter 3-1 win on aggregate in this tie. We move on to the final tie now, and we've got Leipzig up against Manchester City. Now, Leipzig, they're not doing too great in the Bundesliga this year. They're in 5th at the moment, struggling a lot. Manchester City, they're obviously in 2nd at the moment, only 3 points behind Arsenal. They have a chance to go level on points with Arsenal on Wednesday night if they can beat Arsenal at the Emirates. Yeah, it's a tough one, but I think just because of how well Manchester City are doing at the moment, they should win this tie comfortably. Leipzig, they're struggling in the Bundesliga. I know they've got players like Nkunku, Werner, Dani Olmo, who are all brilliant players and all have the ability to turn a game. But Manchester City, I just think they hold too much quality, too much power. Haaland, Grealish, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, they're a class team. So I'm confident that they're going to get through. I can see Manchester City winning this tournament as well if they don't win the Premier League. So yeah, I'm confident that it's going to be Manchester City who get through. First leg's in Leipzig, second leg is back at the Etihad. I'm going to go with a 4-2 Manchester City win on aggregate. But yeah, anyway, guys, this has been my Champions League round of 16 predictions. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think and who's going to go through in the comment section. Let me know who you guys think is going to win the competition. I will be doing a live stream of the Arsenal versus Manchester City game on Wednesday night, so make sure you check that one out. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.